Media Hub. Tune in at Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and apps.
Hi, it's Queen Bree, Director of Clean Greens Farmer Market, and your host of Clean Greens Living Live, broadcasted on Rainier Avenue Radio.
And me, Robin T.
We are here to invite you to our biggest celebration of the year, our annual Lottie Cross Harvest Dinner, on Tuesday, November 16th at 6 p.m. Check out our cool lineup. We will be having a sit-down chat with the one and only Doug Baldwin Jr. We also have in-house DJ Mr. Nice Guy, raffles and pictures from our very own comedian and activist, Deontay Damper, and the rest of our Clean Greens Farm family.
Get tickets by emailing us at cleangreensevents@gmail.com or go to our website at cleangreensfarmmarket.com.
Holla!
Hi, I'm Mac McGregor, the host of the You Can Make a Difference show, which airs live every Friday at 12 noon PT time. On the You Can Make a Difference show, we shine a spotlight on people who are doing amazing things to make a positive difference in our communities and in our world. We talk about what inspired them to do the work and what inspires them to keep going, how they got their start, and how you can, if it inspires you, plug into their work. We can all do something that makes a difference. So tune in every Friday at noon to the You Can Make a Difference show with Mac McGregor.
This is Mondo Bancaro from Mondo's World. We will be discussing some interesting subjects. Sometimes I might even have some guests. So please listen to my show on Rainier Avenue Radio.
And welcome to our live studio audience for another exciting edition of Did You Know? And here we go with round one. Did you know?
COVID vaccine is free and easy to get. You don't need insurance or an appointment to get your vaccine. Vaccines are available at many locations near you.
And now we're going to double the value. Did you know?
The COVID-19 vaccine is always free of cost. You can visit pharmacies, community health centers, and other health providers in your neighborhood.
And now for the lightning round. Did you know?
The Delta variant of COVID is a mutation that has health experts worried because it's twice as contagious.
Then for our finale. Did you know?
The best way to protect yourself from the COVID Delta variant is to get fully vaccinated. Get your vaccine today.
Find out more at kingcounty.gov/vaccine. Did you know?
Would you like to see when your favorite Rainier Avenue Radio show comes on? Check out our show schedule, updated weekly at rainieravenue.radio.world.
Good evening. I'm your host, Dupe, and this is Monday Night Sports, and we're talking Seahawks football. But before we talk Seahawks football, and I think we have a special guest on the phone line somewhere, don't we? Do we have that special guest on the line? I'm waiting to hear from him. All right.
I think I am.
Yeah, I was talking about, okay. Edwin Bailey. Okay, this is Monday Night Sports with Dupe and Edwin. So Edwin is showing up. What's up, big fella? How you doing, man?
Hey, Rick, I'm here, baby. I'm here.
Okay. I hear you're going to be in town. You're coming back to town here. So we're going to
I got to come back. My wife is getting me exam. I have to have some exams. I think she's getting some insurance. Keep your eye on for me, Rick. If you get me insurance, you might try to knock me off.
Yeah. And she can too, man. I can't help you out there, bro. I'm sorry. I'll have your back. I can be a witness, but that's about all I can do for you. Oh, man. Anyway, I want to welcome our guests. And before we turn our attention to the Seahawks, Evan, I want to get your take on, where the Seahawks are at. And obviously in your career, you've been here before. They're 3-6. Not a great place to be, but still a lot of football left to be played. But before that, I just want to remind our listeners, our viewers that are watching the stream, we have been giving you high school football every Friday or Saturday night, every weekend. And that continues this Saturday. Doubleheader at Memorial Stadium, 1:00 is going to feature number 10 Mount Spokane against number 2 Eastside Catholic. And that'll be followed by number 6 Kennewick and number 3 O'Day. So it's the quarterfinals. We obviously, because Metro League is in 3A, we will be following the 3A I shouldn't say tournament, the 3A games all the way to the championship. And then the championship a couple of weeks later on December 4th, live from Spark Stadium in Puyallup. That game will be at noon. So you'll hear that So depending on the outcome of this Saturday's games will determine what we have for you on the 27th. But that's down the line. Right now, it's just make sure if you're a high school fan, you can't get out to Memorial Stadium. We will bring you a doubleheader once again right here on Rainier Avenue Radio this Saturday. So, Edwin, with that said, Seahawks, tough loss last night or yesterday afternoon, last night there where they were. But, tough loss. Now you're at 3-6 and really, you're at the halfway point with the 17-game season, essentially. What you've been here before, kind of as you think back on your career, what goes through your mind and what needs to happen to turn this thing around?
Consistency. You need some step up guys. You need some guys that's going to step up. The one thing that concerns me more than anything right now, just from watching the games, seeing the things that are going on and off the field, is you just need some solid veteran leadership, man.
Yeah.
Some solid veteran leadership. Some guys that's going to make sure, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And take these young guys and lead them. And to lead the young guys, you yourself must show some solid character. So it's going to be about veteran leadership.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Obviously, if you're a Seattle fan, you're excited with the return of Russell Wilson. And Edwin, I think that we've talked about your career, when you were with the Seahawks, and one of the consistent themes for successful seasons was you had a consistent running game, and the Seahawks honestly just have not been able to consistently have a solid running game week in and week out. Literally since Marshawn left, and I think that's an area they've got to improve.
You're absolutely right, Rick.
Yeah. What do you do? It's again, I love Chris Carson. I love, Alex Collins, but again, the Seahawks have to, and again, we're looking ahead. I don't think you're going to, you're not going to solve that issue this year. You're not going to get somebody in free agency. You're not going to make a trade to get a quality guy, but somehow they're going to have to look to the draft, get a good young guy. I look at Najee Harris at Pittsburgh, one of my favorite backs that have come out of Alabama. Seahawks need a guy like that, a guy that's an every down guy, a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield, a guy that can block, but most importantly, can carry the load, 20, 25 times a game if he needs to, and can stay healthy. And, Edwin, I just think that you're putting so much pressure on Russell Wilson and these receivers and the O-line when a defense knows, man, they don't have much of a running game. We don't have to, we don't have to worry about that as much as we normally would, and we can go after number 3.
Hey, Rick, I've from the time I started playing football, man, I've always been in a run first offense.
Yeah.
And after a while, you kind of figure it out. Run first, then play action off of that. I really thought that the Carson kid could step in there. I really liked what I saw in him as a running back, and it just hasn't happened. He hasn't gotten the push and the security that you get when you are a run first offense, and that's a solid offensive line.
Yeah.
That's going to create a cavity for you. That's the one thing that's missing. Who is the leading rusher for the Seattle Seahawks right now? That's a big question. They got the receiving core, to play action pass too, but without that run game, man, as a coach myself, that's all I think about is establishing a consistent 4 or 5 yards of carry run game.
Yeah, and yesterday, they were 3.5 yards per play, not just running per play, including passing.
Yeah, and that ain't gonna get it done, Rick.
No, it's not. Only 208 yards total yards, 133 on the ground. Rather in the air, 75 on the ground. And Edwin, I think Chris Carson, when he's healthy, but has not been able to stay healthy. And again, it's not like a guy's trying to go out there and get hurt, but somehow the Seahawks, that has to be a priority. We're going to listen to a couple of cuts here, and Daniel, I said I wanted to listen to Russell Wilson first, but let's listen to DK Metcalf cut first. I'll call for it in just a second. You can tell the frustration in his voice, and I think somehow the Seahawks have to figure out a way. Now, defensively, we were concerned early on. The defense turned around pretty quickly. I mean, a lot more quickly than they did last year, and the defense is actually playing pretty well. And making some plays, and I'm not as concerned. And again, you hold Green Bay, who has a potent offense, and Aaron Rodgers back from being off from the COVID debacle. That's a whole other conversation. And they hold him under 400 yards, 393. But only 17 points on the board. And the Seahawks were in this game all the way, and a couple of plays here and there. But let's do this, Daniel. Let's play the DK Metcalf cut real quickly. It's short, and Edwin. And let's talk about it. I want you and our viewers and listeners listen to DK. You could hear the frustration, in his voice.
I think as an offense, we just kind of struggled just to get the ball moving. Some throws were off, some throws were there. I know I had a couple of key drops that I should have caught, but we got to make the plays when our numbers called, and when Russ puts it in our area, we got to catch it.
Offense, what's the next step you guys need to take next week to get things going?
We got to watch them first. I know we got a Cardinals team that's angry after they lost today, so we just got to get back on track and just play our ball.
Did he seem normal? It couldn't have been normal after being out of Russell Wilson. Did he seem normal to you, or what seemed different?
What's the question?
Balls of throwing, the way it came off his hand to you, did it seem like normal to you?
Yeah, it was normal.
When you just look at why the offense hasn't had its rhythm, even with Russ back, going back to the first 3 quarters of the Rams, is there any themes there, anything consistent there?
We got to get the ball to our playmakers and let them make plays.
The third down stuff.
Yeah, there you have it. Edwin, you heard him. He said, "Man, you got to get the ball to your playmakers and let them make plays." Basically, what I'm hearing out of that is y'all got to get the ball in my hands and give me a chance to make some plays. And Tyler and what have you. You got to get the ball in our hands and give us a chance.
The one thing I did like about it, Rick, is the first thing he did was he showed accountability. I had a couple of untimely drops, and I got to do better than that. And so he knows that he has to step up. Yeah. But I love the fact that he takes accountability, but he knows exactly what's going on. You can't hear the frustration in his voice because this offense is supposed to be very good. This is supposed to be a primetime offense, and they got the man, with the ball in his hand that's controlling the engine, So I'm happy that they are expecting a hell of a lot more from themselves than they're actually giving right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's time to get for the veterans to step up, man. Not have a meeting and pointing fingers and all of that foolishness. That never gets anything done. Just straight accountability. Step up and step out.
Yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I'm looking at it, and you mentioned this is supposed to be a high-powered, high-potent offense. You bring in, new offensive coordinator. You make a big deal out of this. And honestly, Edwin, I mean, offense doesn't look any different to me. And one of the things that I think a lot of fans are frustrated at is that you see this team and the opposing team seem to be able to pick the defense apart sometimes. Early on, especially. Now, again, the defense has really, really improved. And they're stepping up, but still, you had a couple of screens, and okay, I get it. You run the first screen last night. Green Bay got a big gain, in a critical time, in I believe that was early fourth quarter. And then they run it a couple plays later and get another big gain. It's like, well, come on, you guys. I mean, you got to have field recognition. You got to recognize this. You got to know what's coming.
Well, I mean, that rush. And when you're doing the screens, you're setting something up,
right?
And if the defense is running and doing the things that they need to do, tackling in an open field, and all of those things are paramount if you're going to stop those screens.
Yeah.
You know, the lineman rushing, changing direction, getting into a run lane and chasing the ball. 9 times out of 10, if you run enough screens, you're going to get that ball knocked loose on the backside sometime because those guys are running to the football.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, I'm almost sure there's a lot of blame to go around if you're into blame. But if you want to get better and make some plays, hey, you got to step up and do some things right. Again, I'm going to constantly stress veteran leadership, bringing those guys coming to the table and making sure that their young guys are on time, doing the things they need to do for this team to get back to the way they used to play a year or two ago.
Yeah, no, you make some good points, Edwin, and you just got to step. You can't finger point. You just got to bring it together, and it's going to be interesting. We're going to see what this team is made of right now. I mean, this is do or die now, and you got Arizona next week. This is do or die. Either you get it done now. You can't afford to have another couple of losses in a row. Then you're out of it. You're too far back. Well, so it'll be interesting.
Rick, you know that one team that terrifies us now. I'm sure they'll be coming sometime soon.
Yeah, your guy, Aaron Donald, he gives you chills. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that dude.
I watched them tonight. They are terrifying.
Oh God, man, they are. Yeah, they are. But I go back to you bring in Shane Walgren. You have all this. Hey, you're gonna make this. The offense is gonna be high powered, high potency, and they aren't getting it done right now. And
right,
again, like we said a moment ago, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I mean, without a consistent running game, it is so difficult to do anything else. However, with that said, I mean, there were times Russell was certainly under duress and under pressure, but he is so good at getting out of that pressure and did a great job and made some great scrambles. And again, he said he forced something. We're going to go to him in just a minute. We'll hear his some of his post-game interview. But, I just think you got to take a step back and say, okay, what's going on with this offense? You've got the players. I mean, I love Gerald Everett. I think, I've raved about this tight end core, over the last few years. Will Dissly, and you had, I'm forgetting Greg Olson, and now you've got Gerald Everett. But again, I look at yesterday's stats, and you and I, this show, we're not big on the stats, but they tell you something. And again, I go back, Edwin.
They give you production.
Yeah, I go back. I mean, you averaged 3.5 yards per play offensively yesterday. Okay, and I'm looking at. I mean, let me go down the list here. You got Gerald Everett had 8 catches, an average of 7.9 yards. DK 3 catches, an average of 8.7. Okay, 8.7 yards per catch for DK Metcalf. Come on, that Travis Homer 7.7.
We need more. We need more.
Yeah, you got to get the ball downfield. Tyler Lockett had 2 catches, 23 yards. That's an 11.5 per catch. Will Dissly 2 for 22, 11 yards. Alex Collins had 1 for 8. I mean, you aren't going to win games that way. You just aren't going to win games that way. So
you're not going to go to the playoffs either.
No. It's going to be you're going home early. You're going home early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Dan, let's listen. We've got some time here. Let's listen to. I had a few more minutes. I want to get Russell Wilson. He's back. Let's hear from him, and we'll have a few minutes coming back after hearing his post game, and we can kind of wrap things up and kind of talk about next steps as they take on the Cardinals.
My finger felt fine. The problem with tonight was I had two bad plays. That's what it really was. It felt like we were moving the ball pretty well. We had that really good drive down there. It's 3rd down and I think 8 or so, whatever it was. And, I tried to make a throw to DK, and guy made a good play. His back was turned. I was trying to get it to him. He's done it before, touchdowns. And he did a good job turning around, catching it. I think that the other one, he was trying to take a shot, to Tyler. But I felt confident. I didn't feel anything. I threw one high to Tyler there that, I was like, maybe I just try to, a little too hard, just smooth to throw it. But other than that, I felt confident in every throw, and just confident in the game. It was the reality was the game was 3-0 all the way, till 4th quarter or whatever. And we should have won that game. Our defense played great. Guys battled throughout the whole game. Between 2 really good teams. I got to play better, and that was on me. There was those 2 plays. That was really the game, And so, I don't second guess anything. I have 100% confidence in our team and what we can do and what I can do and what we're going to do. and and that's really my mindset is.
It's easy to say, Russ, oh, maybe you came back too early. What tells you that you did not?
I think I made a lot of, I first of all, I think that I know myself really well. I know myself really well and know, what I can and can't do and everything else. And feel like I could do everything tonight, and had some runs in the first third down, for example. If I was second guessing my hand, we can go for that, getting hit like that, So I felt confident in my hand. I felt confident in all the hard work. It was just a bad game in those two plays, really. I mean, and that was really the defining moments of the game. And when you're playing good football teams, that's usually what it is, and they either go your way or they don't. And I didn't play timid at all, so that's where I feel confident. Is that it just didn't go our way, and that's on me. It's really that simple. I take the blame for it, and I'm looking forward to getting on the plane and watching the film, and also to getting up early in the morning and getting back to work.
Shot or pistol the whole game. Did that change anything about anything at all?
No, I didn't change anything. I've done that before and this and that. Just wanted to be smart. I didn't want to do anything silly. We had some plays that were under center, but if we needed them and this and that, I felt I took snaps under center this week and some, but we just wanted to be smart because a long game, and taking on those snaps, just nothing crazy happening. We could do all of our runs and all of our passes from that. So, that was fine. I thought, so that wasn't a factor.
Apart from the finger, was there any rustiness just from not having played in a month?
No, like I said, I don't want to overcomplicate it. I just think that, it really came down to two plays. We were right there. So we make those two plays. I think the other time we had we were moving the ball right before half. And, unfortunately, we got a penalty. We were getting in field goal range there. That helps swing the game a little bit, too. And, so some things happened along the way, that some really good things, some things that weren't very good at all. And those two things were on me.
Pete said you tried out some, different gloves, different things during the week. How did you kind of settle on the sheet or the wrap of the tape that looked like you had on your
Yeah, I tried different things all last week and different things. I felt confident with obviously playing with my hand and all that, obviously, and stuff like that. But just in case it got really bad weather, it was snowing or something, and it was really, really cold and dropped to, -5 or something like that. That's why I was, just prepared. You never know. And so, but I threw with my hand all week, and and threw the glove a little bit too. But that wasn't the factor. We can say whatever whatever we want to say or this or that. I felt 100% confident in our team. I felt 100% confident in the game plan. I thought Shane had put a really good game plan together. Unfortunately, it comes on my shoulders because I didn't fulfill those two big plays in those two moments. And I don't ever shy away from it. When you play this position, the highest level, there's going to be some stuff you have to weigh on your shoulders, and there's going to be also some things that also I can score anytime weigh on your shoulders too, and more great than bad, and that's what I know. And so like I said, I thought our defense played great. I thought guys played really hard. I thought we came in prepared, and I thought we played a really good football team. I thought we were a really good football team, and when you have two costly mistakes, I think, especially the one in the red zone, that's unfortunate. So.
What did you see on that play, on that throw?
On the red zone one? It was DK, just trying to give him a shot, and I kind of scampered outside the pocket to the left, and King's back was turned, so I tried to zip it in there, and he got his head around and made a play. I'm not gonna. It's hard, you never want to second guess yourself on those plays because you make so many of them, so a lot of touchdowns that way. We've hit a lot of touchdowns in a lot of different circumstances, but in that kind of game where it was back and forth, that's where I can eliminate that mistake and allow us to kick the field goal, make it 3-3, and here we go. Now it's 3-3, 0-0 game basically, and keep playing. So like I said, 100% accountability on myself that happened. Nobody else's fault.
Sorry, what'd you see on the deep interception to Tyler?
Yeah, we were trying to launch one deep to Tyler, trying to get him a shot down the field, he almost made a great play. Amos made a good play on it. So we've hit those two. So I think that on that, if I could do it again, just check it down. Probably don't love it. It's trying to get him behind the guy. You know, I got enough oomph on the ball and everything else. The ball was there, you know, threw a deep one down the field. So it wasn't like I, you know, couldn't throw it down the field or this or that. You know, I think it was later in the game. We felt like we needed to make a play, you know, and was trying to make one, and it didn't work.
So there you have it. That was Russell Wilson. And Edwin, I mean, as always, he takes responsibility, and you talk about that veteran leadership. He is certainly
big with accountability, big with responsibility. You know, it just, hey, you know, just from hearing him talk, I know they're going to get better, and they're going to do better.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Edwin. And I think that in that locker room and hearing the guys and post game and what have you, I mean, they all, you know, obviously frustrated, disappointed, what have you, but not frustrated to the point where they don't feel they can turn it around and still have a shot. And again, 17-game season, that one extra game makes a difference, and they have a shot. But you know, it's got to happen now. You know, other than Edwin, you mentioned earlier, other than kind of that veteran leadership, taking accountability, not pointing the fingers, what else, you know, can what else needs to happen so that these guys, you know, will turn it around?
Just consistency. You know, they got to get on because they got to find out what they do well this year. You know, what are we doing well? We need to get to that and stick to that. You know, in my day, if it was John L. Williams, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to toss the ball to John L., pitch the ball to John L. Kurt Warner dives, you know, counter power, all of that. You know, we had number 80. Just get him into the game.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to do his part, you know. And what made us so good with him was, hey, man, with John L. working, with Kurt Warner working, with Dan Dornick working, you know, play action, we got Steve Largent, man.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
If we need to go down the middle deep, we got Darryl Turner, you know. So, hey, man, they got to find out what they do well consistently.
That's
that and stick to that.
Yeah. And Edwin, I mean, that is, you hit the nail on the head, that work consistently. And that's what's been lacking so far. The defense seems to be coming around. And if the offense can provide some level of consistency, you know, I think Chris Carson, I haven't seen, you know, when he's expected back, you know, and hopefully when they do get him back, he can stay healthy. And then they got to use him. You know, I mean, I don't think they, and I know, you know, okay, want to keep a guy healthy, but you know what? If he's in there, I mean, he's got to get it done. He's got to stay healthy. You got to use him. And he's a guy who can keep that defense honest.
Yeah.
And then you bring in a guy like Alex Collins, you hit him out in the flats, you know, send him out there, or, you know, give him a little screen or whatever. I mean, I haven't seen the Seahawks, you know, run many screens. And so I mean, I think there's some things I am expecting, you know, to see some innovation from Shane Waldron and this offense. You know, I want to see that. We haven't seen it yet. And you definitely have the talent, you have the skill guys. And this old line, you know, Edwin, again, I mean, you know, the quarterbacks, I mean, you're going to get pressure, but these guys, I think, you know, overall have done a pretty good job. I mean, I have not been overly disappointed, you know, again, with the old line and their performance. But, you know, again, you hit the nail on the head, consistency.
Yeah, well, Russell is not on the run.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's not, they're not just banging him at every turn.
Right.
You know, an unfortunate helmet hit, which happens basically every game.
Yeah.
You know, and his finger is not banged up. So if that's well, you know, let's get back to what we do well. Let's get back to what we do well consistently.
Yeah.
And then let's stick there and let's win some games.
That is Edwin Bailey. He is an 11-year NFL veteran, a HBCU, South Carolina State Hall of Famer. And man, good to have you back on the show and getting your take on the game. That's going to do it for us. So I want to remind our listeners a couple of things. As I said, this Saturday, doubleheader, stay right here on Rainier Avenue Radio, and you can watch the high school games. It's going to be the quarterfinals, 1 o'clock. We have number 10, Mount Spokane, number 2, Eastside Catholic. That followed at 4 o'clock by number 6, Kennewick, and number 3, O'Day. We will bring you both of those games live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio from Memorial Stadium. And we will take you all the way to the state championship game, 3A state championship game on December 4th down in Puyallup at Spark Stadium. For Edwin Bailey, for Daniel B., I'm Dupe. That will do it for us. Don't go anywhere because Lidline is next right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Until next week, peace and God bless.
Hey, Rick, I'll see you Saturday.
Yes, sir.
This is